Here's how to stay looking younger no matter what age you are. So I am a sun goddess. I love being out in the sun. I'm not afraid of the sun. A lot of people think that you have to slather yourself up with all of these, SPFs and what have you. But did you know if you turn around those labels, it's usually just a chemically laden, overly processed piece of goop that is, again, another hormone disruptor. Look at the label. If it says avobenzene, homobenzene, remember those are going into your system and they are hormone disruptors. So me personally, I actually don't use a lot of sunscreens. If I do a sun protection of some sort, I will put coconut oil on my body, I will put olive oil on my body, and for my face, I actually use something of a mineral sunscreen because this mineral sunscreen has argan and moringa in it. It is filled with all sorts of antioxidants in there. Personally, I love the sun, and at least 15 to 20 minutes of uncovered sun protection every single day is really, really key to boosting the immunities overall. So a lot of you might be thinking, all right, you're just sitting there getting fine lines and wrinkles, but there are a lot of ways to combat that in the end. Again, it goes back to the lifestyle choices that you do make. Hydration, antioxidants, those are key players in protecting your skin and your cells over time. So if I do use a sun protection, I use something that is mineral based. This is vitamin rich, it's moisturizing, it's fragrance free, which I love, and it does provide a broad spectrum UVA, UVB protection. It has a higher SPF than most of the other ones out there. So you want to train your body over time and time again to prevent from sunburn, right? Because obviously if you get sunburn, you're gonna peel, and maybe that is what you're thinking, oh my gosh, aging. My personal opinion, you shouldn't be afraid of the sun. If you want to use a sun protection, use something natural even. Guys, zinc oxide is gonna be your best bet if you want a real thick protection. If you're really out there on the water, or if you're going to be out there all day long, put it on your nose, what have you. But in the end, I personally believe that exposing myself to getting that vitamin D naturally is the best route, and it's honestly the best supplement you could take for the mind, the body, and overall. Another thing that you can do is consume more green tea, leafy greens. I've got my arugula, love this stuff. The green tea, let's talk about the green tea because they're super high in polyphenols and catechins, right? So what these are doing is they are neutralizing free radicals, cellular damage, right? So by doing that, it's preventing the aging process overall. So if you drink a cup of green tea a day, you're doing yourself so much good. Cheers on that one. When we talk about sun protection, you can consume your sun protection. Did you know that? So every day I have berries, leafy greens. These are some of the highlights of items that are so rich in antioxidants, even some nuts and seeds out there. So by incorporating those into your lifestyle, you can actually consume your sun protection. When we talk about sun protection in the forms of foods, we're talking again back to the polyphenols, the antioxidants, polyphenol rich foods like blueberries, yes? And then also going back to the olive oil, certain olive oils are very, very, very rich in polyphenols. Polyphenols help neutralize, as I said before, free radicals. Free radicals are cellular damage, little evil monsters. So by kicking those to the curb, you are really slowing down the aging process overall. Remember, when anything like cellular damage happens or inflammation happens, they like to call that inflammaging. So by drinking green tea, consuming berries and leafy greens on a daily basis, you are actually cutting that down. I think one of the most simplest form of an anti-aging hack would probably be hydration. Clean, filtered water for you folks. I drink so much water every single day. I have hydration in many different forms. I have room temperature, which goes through the cells a lot more quickly. You better believe I'll always have a nice cup of hot lemon water. That is a really great detoxifier for the whole system. And another one, a travel hydration system right here. So if I'm ever on the go, I can bring it with me to a hotel room or on the road for a road trip, because a lot of people I know don't have the means to have a reverse osmosis system in their home, which I personally believe is such a great option to have, but I know a lot of people don't have that option. So you can have something like this at home and have it at your fingertips all the time. It works especially well in earthquake situations, right? So if you lose power, if you lose plumbing, what have you, you'll still have your clean water source right here and right there. Back to the hydration, guys, it keeps your skin looking so plump. It helps move all of the toxic waste out of your body every single day, because we all know if you wake up and you don't have a bowel movement, guess what? You're gonna feel pretty crummy every single day. Yeah, that's why people usually say I feel like shit. Because yeah, you're full of shit. The purpose of the hydration is that it's going into your cells, it's moving everything through your system and getting those toxins out of the body. Remember the whole thing about the lymphatic system, right? We want to work with it. We want to keep it flowing like a nice, well-oiled machine. And when your cells are happy, your skin's going to be happy. Your eyes are going to be brighter. You know, your brain is going to function more optimally all the time. When your skin is looking better, you're not going to feel as dried out. A lot of people think, you know, once they start seeing fine lines and wrinkles form, that they have to get some sort of expensive procedure out there. But there are some options that you can do, like staying hydrated, that will really keep the skin moist, dewy, and plump, right? Keeps everything flowing. So when you see that your skin is dried up, that is a sign that you are dehydrated. Beyond that, with the anti-aging practices, something so free out there is staying calm, regulating the central nervous system. I've heard so many people out there, I'm victim to it myself, of having high cortisol levels. High cortisol levels is basically, in layman's terms, means high stress levels, right? So when you're super stressed, you're not breathing. Your body is not getting rid of toxic waste through the breath, which is such an amazing practice, but also there's a lot of inflammation going on there, inflammaging going on there. So we want to get rid of all of that. I really like to incorporate breath work into my daily life. I really like to use that in the form of yoga, a soft meditation, a walking meditation, basically just bringing in spatial awareness, my surroundings with me inside of it. So I'm sitting here right now. Inhale, exhale. When you do that multiple times, you can't really think about anything else. When you're focusing on your breath, you can't think about anything else, right? So take that into practice on your daily life, because part of the reason why we're aging so rapidly is because we are so stressed. We're feeling rushed. We're feeling bogged down, unrested, because we can't turn our brain off at night. So take in some simple practices like that, because if you think that you have to go towards getting a really expensive cosmetic procedure or even something like Botox, I mean, I know everyone to each their own, but I personally am not going to take on Botox in my life. There are so many other options you can do, starting with regulating your central nervous system, starting with going back to the foundations of regulating your breath. So something that I do instead of Botox is I face tape. Japanese face tape is absolutely amazing. So if you can be a little prepared here and there, cut your tape strips up, put them through the power meridian lines. I like to call them the power meridian lines. The places where maybe you have a crow's feet right here, maybe your forming those 11s right there. Sleep with those bad boys on, and I tell you, you'll wake up and your face will be transformed. But things don't happen overnight. Lifestyle techniques don't just change you overnight. It's about being consistent and bringing the practice towards you. So Japanese face tape, you do need a little bit of practice in putting it on. Please watch some tutorials by professionals. There's a lot of people doing things out there that are just like basically putting tape on their face, and you're doing it kind of wrong because you can put the tape in the wrong direction. But if you're putting it towards the lines and taping it just so, your lines are going to go away drastically. I know I wake up every single day and I'm like, oh wow, I feel like I just got like a minor facelift right there. So it's really awesome. Again, you want to make sure that you're getting good quality tape. I like the Japanese face tape, as I said before. It's kind of like if you're an athlete, you know those like Kinesio tapes? Very, very, very similar. But again, please do educate yourself on exactly how to cut the tape, where to put them strategically on your face. But you're going to save yourself so much money in the end. And guess what? No one wants a neurotoxin. The final piece of advice on anti-aging I have for you today is red light therapy. I love my red light therapy, my red light tools so incredibly much. I've got one that I can like lay down in and just totally completely meditate under because I can't do anything under there. So it gives me a really good option and opportunity to lay down on my bed, lay down on the couch and meditate for 30 minutes, right? And just tap into my breath work. I also have it in a handheld wand form. So it's an easier option if you do have to converse with other people, maybe be on your phone, maybe type at the same time, maybe you're watching a show at night. Again, it goes back into getting into that deep, deep, deep dermis level of the skin. And let me tell you something. I had a bruise on my face because I did acupuncture for my face. Yes, more on that sometime soon. But I did facial acupuncture all over my face. And when you're starting that technique, you might bruise here and there at times. So I did get a bruise on my face. I took my red light therapy wand, I stuck it on my face. 3 days later, the bruise was completely gone. Right? So there are so many options cosmetically that you can use it for. Also, it just feels really, really good. And it's a nice, warm, comforting hug at the end of the day that I like to practice it with. I like to tie up my whole skincare and sleepy time routine in one nice habit stack. In the next video, I'm going to take you through my entire skincare routine for anti-aging and just skincare in general, and show you exactly how I get ready for bed to get optimal sleep.